From KARK4 and Fox 16, this is a special report. Here's Mitch McCoy.
And good day to you. I'm Mitch McCoy here in Little Rock. We're following breaking news. This is video our crew at the scene just captured a few moments ago. A person's been shot in the Kroger parking lot near Geyer Springs and Baseline. This is a story that our Alexis Wainwright is tracking very closely as we continue to monitor some of these live pictures coming into our newsroom. I want to get to Alexis Wainwright. She is live near that scene. Alexis, we've been watching some of your live pictures throughout the last hour or so, and it looks like things have wrapped up there for now as people try to figure out, detectives specifically, try to figure out what happened resulting in this shooting.
Yeah, that's right, Mitch. Well, Little Rock Police confirming with us today that one man was shot in the parking lot of this Kroger. And as you mentioned, we're seeing video from the scene. If you take a look at that white car that's taped off in that area, that was the main focus for detectives. About 4 or 5 detectives out here, along with several Little Rock police officers. Again, them paying attention to that one white vehicle while they were out here combing through some of that evidence. Now, not much information coming from police just now, but we talked to several people in this parking lot who say this is a very busy and frequent area. So it's concerning to know that a shooting happened right here in this parking lot. Now, we don't have any suspect information just yet, but as you imagine, it's still in the early stages of this investigation. So we are still working and trying to figure out much more information.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And you know, there's a lot of questions surrounding this because you're right. That Kroger, and it doesn't really matter what Kroger you're talking about, a Kroger Monday afternoon, this was late morning, it happened just around 11:30 this morning, is going to be busy. You would imagine that police have some witnesses or people that saw or heard something that they're going to be talking with at some point today.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So there were several people who were out here when we got here to the scene. I do know that police were talking with one man specifically who was filling out some paperwork and kind of telling them the details that he saw. Now, we tried to speak with him, but he wasn't available at the moment. We also saw police kind of canvass this area and go up to other people, ask them, you know, did you see anything? Did you hear anything? And they answered those questions. Now, the people we spoke to, I spoke to one man who said he was in the parking lot when that shooting happened, but he didn't hear anything. The first thing he did, he said he was sitting in his car looking at his phone. When he looked up, he saw police with their sirens on and pulling up to this area and started taping it off. So as you could imagine, a lot of people were caught off guard. A lot of people now trying to figure out what exactly happened. Is it okay for me to be out here? Is it okay for me to be with my family out here? So a lot of people still asking questions. I actually just spoke with a woman about 10 minutes ago who pulled up and asked, is this so-and-so's car? I know this car. This car looks familiar. I'm concerned. So a lot of people have a lot of questions. As you mentioned, police are still trying to figure out some of that information.
If you're just joining us, Alexis Wainwright is following breaking news right now. A man's been shot in the Kroger parking lot near Geyer Springs. Alexis, for people just joining us, let's walk through what we know real quick one more time. Do we know, walk us through what you know, including injuries to this gunshot victim and also what we know about a possible suspect.
Right. So police responded to a call around 11:13 to this area of the Kroger parking lot on Geyer Springs. Police say one man was shot. He was shot in the leg. No word yet on that condition for him, but we do know that he was taken to a local hospital by ambulance from here. Now, a lot of information we're still trying to figure out. No suspect information has been released just yet, but police are still talking to some of the witnesses, talking to some of the people who were out here when that shooting did occur.
And, you know, Alexis, you know this just as well as I do. You know, you think somebody's shot in the leg, injuries probably aren't serious, but injuries to the leg, especially when you're shot, can leave major injuries on someone. So we'll have to closely wait to see what those injuries are when we hear from LRPD. And, you know, here's the other thing, Alexis. There are surveillance cameras, maybe even from that Kroger parking lot, that authorities will be looking at possibly in the hours to come as they try to figure out what happened in the middle of the day at a Kroger parking lot earlier. So, Alexis, I know there's a lot of work to still do here for you and before our newscast later today, so I'll let you go.
All right, thank you. We'll have an update coming soon.
I appreciate it, Alexis. Thanks so much. Again, if you're just joining us, just want to recap what we know right now. We know somebody's been shot. A man has been shot in the Kroger parking lot. This is near Geyer Springs and Baseline. This is video that our crew just captured from that scene a few moments ago. There is no word yet on who pulled the trigger. We are being told that the victim shot in this shooting was shot in the leg. He has been taken to a hospital. We do not know the extent of those injuries just yet. And like I had mentioned just a moment ago, a gunshot wound to the leg can create major ripple effects. It just depends on how quick law enforcement arrived at the scene and how quick authorities were able to get him off into a hospital. So we will continue to follow the story very closely. A live update coming up at 4 p.m. on Channel 4 and, of course, Fox 16 News at 5:30. Again, we're following this breaking news. A man has been shot in the Kroger parking lot just after 11 a.m. today near Baseline in Geyer Springs. Have a good afternoon, everyone. Take care.
This has been a special report from Fox 16 and KARK 4.